Hi, everyone. My name is Praveen, and I'm your diabetes prevention lifestyle coach today. And today we're going to go over module 5, track your food. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, everyone. My name is Swati, and I'm also going to be your lifestyle uh, diabetes prevention coach for today. And welcome, everyone. So, Praveen Garu and I will be doing this participant module with you guys today.
All right. Okay. So here I have shared the participant guide. So by this time you're kind of expected to read this participant guide by before coming to the class. And then we'll just go over that, and then if there are any discussions, we can go over that. All right. So, and then at the end of the class, go ahead and go to the personal success tool that CDC has, and then please go ahead and take the quiz there, or view what are the actions that that module has. Please go ahead and do that. All right. So I think the last class we went over how to get well, and Swati Garu, would you like to summarize that, the last week class?
So, the last class, we went over tips how to improve your health by making small changes to what you eat and what each how much the portion size and what your diabetes plate should look like, and how much vegetables and fruits you should include in your diet, and how you need to lessen the amount of carbs and lessen the amount of processed food that you'll be intake of your processed food should be lessened. So that was what we discussed in the last module. So Praveen Garu, you want to take up what this objectives of this module is going to be?
Yes. So this module will be about track your food, and also I think this will be a very interesting class, because we're going to go over there are some measuring tools. They give you some tips on how to measure your food. I mean, what's important in in this program is we want to track how many calories that you're taking, and how do you actually do that. And this is a this module, let's get into it. It will kind of give you some ways and techniques to do that. All right. So in this session, we'll talk about the benefits of tracking food. I mean, we already talked about benefits of tracking the activity, right, a couple of classes ago, and by using various techniques. And this session will talk about benefits of tracking food, and how to track the food you eat and the calories that you take in. And then there are different ways to track food, and how to figure out portion size and calories from food labels. And then you also get a chance to review different ways to track your food and give it a try. You'll also make a new action plan, like every week. We have these action plans. So this week also we're going to do an action plan, and try to track your food each day, and then track more over time. Because start by tracking what and when you eat, and when you get comfortable with this, you can start tracking how much you eat and then calories. So it's kind of like go step by step, and first you start about like, oh, I had a sandwich, in the morning, and then in the afternoon I had a lunch with some curry and some lentils, and then so like that. And then later on you're like, okay, I had 2 slices of bread, and then like 2 ounces of peanut butter, like that. And then you can get into like looking at the calories. So all right, so let's get to it. Okay, so what are some benefits of tracking your food? Swatika, do you want to go ahead, read this story for us, Sally's story?
Sure, Andy. So, Sally's story. Sally is at risk for type 2 diabetes. She wants to lose 15 pounds. She is choosing higher quality foods in appropriate serving sizes for her meals. However, she isn't losing as much weight as she wanted after 1 month, even though she is pretty consistent about what she eats every day. Her friend Tina suggested she track her eating for a day. Tina worked with Sally to describe the food she ate on one full day, guessing at serving sizes. The next day, Sally recorded her meals again, but this time she measured. The table below compares what Sally tracked each day. So for day one, what Sally ate for breakfast was a bowl of cereal with milk. Day one calories Sally guessed she ate were 200. Day two, what Sally ate when she measured 1.5 cup cereal with 8 ounces whole milk. And the day two calories that Sally ate when she measured was 150 calories for cereal and 150 calories for milk. And for day two, the coffee with 1 tablespoon whole milk and 2 teaspoons sugar was 50 calories. So the total was 350 calories. She guessed she was taking in 200, but it was actually 150 calories more.
That's great. So this is a great idea to track your food every day. So what do you think happened to Sally that by tracking her, what did she find out?
So by tracking, she actually found out that she was actually taking in more calories than what she was thinking that her intake of calories was. So when she actually measured them, she saw that the calorie count is way more than what she thought it was.
And with that approach, do you think that she'll actually gain weight or lose weight? Kind of seems like.
So if I guess it might be distressing in the beginning,
Yeah.
thinking of all those extra calories, but probably if you know by reducing the portion, she might actually bring it down to what she actually thought she was eating, like 200 calories. So that might help her.
Mm-hmm. What are some good choices that she's making?
So I would say, since she actually tracked it, probably she can, instead of whole milk, she can actually reduce the percentage. I mean, she can go for lower fat milk, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's go to the next one. I think we're not done with the story yet. Okay. So this is the day one. So what was this one? This day was.
That was breakfast, I
Okay.
guess. The
Okay,
next
so
is
lunch. So for
lunch.
what Sally ate was for lunch was ham sandwich. She guessed the calories were 300 calories. But then on day two, what Sally ate when she measured was a sandwich was made with 2 slices of bread, 6 ounces of ham, and then 1.5 tablespoon of mayo. And and on day two, the calories, she got like 150 calories from bread, 200 from ham, and 150 from mayo. She had an apple, which is, she guessed that it was 80 calories, but it was a medium apple. It was actually 50 calories. She had 16 ounces iced tea with 3 tablespoons of sugar, which is 150 calories. So on subtotal, on the day one, she guessed calories she ate was 380, but in the essence, she actually had 700. So she had a calorie difference of 320. Similarly, she had a snack, a granola bar which she didn't estimate any calories for that. And then granola bar was 200 calories, a coffee with 1 tablespoon of whole milk and 2 tablespoons of sugar, which is again, 50 calories, the total of 250 calories, net 50 calories. Okay, do you want to go with the next one? Swadika?
Sure, Andy. So, and for dinner on day one, she had a salad, which she estimated it was 100 calories, mashed potatoes, 200 calories, a piece of fish, she thought it was 200 calories. And on day two, when she actually tracked the calories, she found that the salad with 4 tablespoons blue cheese dressing was the salad was 50 calories and the dressing actually was 300 calories. And that 1 cup mashed potatoes were made with 1/4 cup whole milk and 1 tablespoon butter. That's 200 calories for potatoes, 100 calories for butter, and 40 for whole milk. And the piece of fish, that's 3 ounces of fish, was 200 calories, which her estimate was pretty good. And 8 ounces of iced tea with 2 tablespoons sugar, that is 100 grams of sugar. So the total was 990 calories. And there's a difference of 490 calories from what she actually guessed. So do you want to take the dessert, Andy?
Yeah, I'll take the dessert. So it's like a small bowl of ice cream that you wanted to have for dessert. It had 175 calories in it, but it's 1.5 cups of ice cream. So it actually had 480 calories, so a net gain of 305 calories. The total calorie difference is 1,515 calories. So it's really a huge difference, the big estimate between what she thought that she was actually eating versus what she's getting. All right. So what I think that as the day progressed between the day 1 and the day 2, I think she was closer to some of them, but at least she got the piece of fish right. And then, definitely she didn't track any of her drinks the first time. So now she started drinking. She had a drink here. She didn't even estimate the drinks. But now she didn't estimate the snacks, but the next day she actually did snack, do the, track the snacks. So she had 175 calories for dessert. So definitely she's improving, that she's actually tracking more. And then, she's definitely, you can see that she's eating more calories than she thought, which is making it harder for her to reach her weight loss goal. But apart from this, there are other benefits to tracking as well. She, having tracking increases the awareness of the foods you eat and the beverages you drink. It helps you track overall calories. It allows you to see how eating smaller portions of the foods that you love means fewer calories. It increases awareness of portion sizing, especially when you measure food. It helps you learn which foods are high in calories from fat and sugar and how much to limit and avoid. So when you see that, your ice cream is supposed to have like 450 calories as opposed to what you originally thought was 175, all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're more aware of it. And, you probably don't get a lot of pleasure out of eating so much, because after some time, even the ice cream is like, doesn't taste that good. So it might be good to just, get the portions right. And it helps you make better choices when eating high calorie food. And it shows hidden calories you eat or drink without realizing or thinking about it. It encourages you to eat high quality foods and a balanced diet. All right, a lot of benefits for tracking your food. All right, so here are some ways to actually measure your food. All right, so in this one, we're going to show various ways to measure the food that you're eating, because not everybody has a scale in the office, and you're not going to carry the scale everywhere. Let's say you go into office, kind of embarrassing to pull out a scale right before you're eating lunch with your colleagues, right? So these are some like shortcuts or tips to remember to, have how it is, right? So this one, as the diagram shows, you have a palm, and your palm size is exactly, if you have something that you're eating, like say your fish, you're eating like, not, I mean, if you're a vegetarian, let's say you had that much of, for example, a curry, right? And then, that much size. And or like like an idli, or like uttapam, or like dosa or something, but I don't think dosas are that size, but like an idli or something, then you can tell like how much that is going to be. It might be a bad example, but just to give you an idea, but this is mainly meant for like meat. And here's like where it shows like a tablespoon, you have a thumb, like your thumb is actually your tablespoon. So when you're measuring, when you're putting something, let's say something on your plate, you can measure those. And then half of your thumb is a teaspoon. So when you're putting, let's say, a tablespoon of sugar, for example, versus a teaspoon of sugar, there's a big difference in calories. In the same way, like, for example, you're putting like a stick of butter, or like, something else like that's, heavy in calories, that's definitely a good way to remember that. Here's another thing. How do you get a cup? So you close your fist, and then, you can get the size, and that is the size of, a cup. Like, for example, you had that much curry, like that much lentil. That's your 1 cup right there. Or fruit, like 1 serving of fruit. So you can actually hold it in your hand. It's 1 serving of fruit. If it is bigger, then it goes over like that. And then, you can see a 1/4 cup of almonds, So we need to be able to apply this to our South Indian food. Like, for example, roti, or curries, and, sambar, or rasam, and things like that. You can probably use like serving sizes, and, you can use that. Right, so let's go to the next one. So by using that I mean, always, it's good to actually get some, measuring cups, measuring spoons, and kitchen scale. I'll try to get them next class. I have a bunch of them at home that I can show you guys, I guess. Like, for now, we can skip that.
So from tracking to taking action, if you notice this, my afternoon snack is over 300 calories, but I think it gives me energy to get through the afternoon. So you could also try this. Substitute a brisk 5 to 10-minute walk for a mid-afternoon snack. Activity actually increases your energy. Refill your water bottle throughout the day. Staying hydrated helps keep your body moving. Look for healthy and filling snacks with 100 calories or less, and see if those keep you going through the afternoon. So these are small changes you could make, and probably it'll help you overcome craving for a snack that is like heavy and high in calories. Then if you notice this, I drink more soda and coffee drinks than I thought I did. So if you notice that you drink more soda and more coffee, you can actually substitute sparkling water for 1 or 2 of your sodas. Measure any sugar or milk you add to your coffee. Choose the size down from your normal coffee drinks. So you could have, instead of going for venti, like Starbucks venti, then go for like grande. I think grande is smaller than venti, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so I think those are some good ideas. I like the fact that, you could take it, if you wanted some energy, instead of like, gulping down some bar or like eating some extra food, go for a walk, and actually doubles up. Like, first of all, you reduce your intake and you increase your activity. So it's just like, kind of help you do good. And then, these are all great ideas. Using sparkling water for your sodas, and then, always tracking, how much sugar and milk you have. Yeah, these are excellent ideas. So what are some ideas that you might have? Please add this in the YouTube channel that we have. For me, I think, what I tend to do is I drink like only 1/4 cup of tea whenever I need to drink something. So that way I break my tea into like 4 servings. So I drink one in the morning, one around 11. So I kind of like feel like, I don't like over drink it. At the same time, I just sometimes it gets me, makes me more alert. So I like that having, small cup of tea. So that's just my way of reducing it. What are your tips, Swati Garu?
Um, Generally, I tend to stick to water.
Mhm. That's a great idea.
So I actually warm up the water,
Mhm,
and that kind of gives you a satisfaction of having something warm.
mhm. Okay. Okay, so what are ways to record when and how much to eat? Definitely having a notebook, and texting yourself. Like, oh, I ate a banana. Text yourself. I ate something. Text yourself. So at the end of the day, you have a log. I like to use Siri to do a reminder. I say, Siri, add to the reminder that I had a banana, right? So it will actually record the time that you ate, and then also it translates that. So I always feel like it's a good thing. Having a spreadsheet is definitely useful. Having a smartphone app, like for example, there's a Track My Fitness app. It's really good. I've tried that for some time, a long time. A lot of computer apps that are out there, voice recording, like I mentioned, using Siri and whatnot, and then take a picture of your food. That's also a really great idea, even though it might take up a lot of memory of your phone. But as long as you upload to the cloud, and it's a good idea. All right, so how to track your food. So the track your food. You track one full day of eating. Figure out where your calories are coming from and your eating patterns in single day. Track one working day and one off. Since eating patterns can change between days you work and the days you don't, track one working day and one non-working day to get a sense of how much you eat at work and home. Track one meal for a day, for a few days at a time. It gives a better range of the foods that you have at specific meals, and which, at specific meals, and where you might find some easy tweaks or adjustments to make after you do tune up on that meal and track on the meal. Learn fast and furious, like use an app, take photos with your phone, or take notes in a notebook, and track for just weekend, vacation days or any other non-working days. When our routines change or eating patterns change. For me, it's like, the weekends, especially if you have some parties that I have to go to, and then all of a sudden, my routine changes, and I kind of tend to like overeat or undereat based on the circumstances. So zero in on your weekend, the days you don't work, or vacation days, to keep on track with your healthy eating goals. Sometimes I do fasting, it definitely helps me in the weekend, to recharge. That's also a great way to cut down on your calorie intake. So track everything you eat and drink in between meals. Sometimes it's not the meals, but what you in between. Yeah, exactly. For me, like I always tend to have smaller meals, but then I end up like snacking a lot, and that's always a challenge. Being mindful of the portions and snacks, and when and where you have them, and can plan you great ahead. Right. So, right. Go ahead.
So one way to track the calories that your intake of calories, pay attention to the nutrition facts, the label on most of the foods, like most of the packaged foods have those labels. So pay special attention to exactly what the nutrition facts are, the number of calories that the serving size, and they have a quick guide to percentage of daily value, like 5% or less is low, 20% or more is high of uh, whatever, like the saturated fat is like more than 5%. So it's like medium. So 20% or more is like really high value. So when you look at these nutrition facts, it actually lets you track how much intake of calories and the nutrients you're getting from that particular food.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
So
especially watch out for like sodium, sodium shows like, 37% of your daily intake is coming from this lasagna. So some things to keep in mind like that. I'm sure that you already know all these things, but I think we will probably in the next class we'll go over like the South Asian foods, like, especially the South Indian foods, like what are some sample, we'll try to go over certain ones that we'll try, and then we can try to cater to that. I think that's a good idea, right? Swati Garu?
yeah, probably we can show one of the labels for some of the frozen food.
Foods, yeah.
I'm
And then
sure
even
most of us have frozen food from Indian stores.
that's
So
true.
if we just look at that, probably we can, it'll be an eye opener for us, because generally we don't even look at the box. We just take it out and throw it away.
Right, right. And one other idea is to, like, for example, we can have some sample food that we eat daily and then try to estimate the calories. Like I can try to do that tomorrow and or next class, and then that way people can get an idea of who are watching it can get an idea of how much are the calories.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so those are some great ideas. All right, so next, go to the next one. I think we have, let's see, we have a few more. So why don't we stop for today, right? And
Yes, I
then we can
think
try
that
to
will be
resume
a good idea.
tomorrow, and then we can
Mhm.
start, like you mentioned, we use some of the ones that we all normally use in our homes, and we can go with that. All right, that's thank you for joining this class, and appreciate all your interests, and I guess we'll see you next class. Have a nice day.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.